Today it's February 23rd, 2021. I am minutes away from leaving for my procedure. I'm starting to think about what am I learning from all of this, and I suppose that's a very good question to ask whenever you go through a trial, because not only is that trial going to be of benefit to those around you, but there's a lesson that you probably should internalize, and I'm trying to figure out what that one is for me. So today, as I'm getting ready for this, the thought that was on my mind was the unknown. It will be unknown for a little while anyway, what the results are of this whole procedure. And it occurred to me as I was getting ready to this morning that perhaps it is more fruitful to focus on what is known. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. And those kinds of truths that show me and promise me that what is known is far more powerful and of immeasurably greater comfort to me than what is unknown. And I'm also thinking about the fact that I've had some difficult times in hospitals, quite traumatic. It's occurred in the past that because my veins are so damaged from the years of chemotherapy that nurses would try to access my veins and miss, and the torture of all of that was awful. But also, there have been many times that God has, through the medical staff, the medical team, provided me with an angel of comfort and mercy, an individual, a believer even, that would hold my hand, caress my hair, speak lovingly to me, and help me through my situation. I'm anticipating my angel of mercy being there. And if that does not manifest in a human form, then I know the Holy Spirit will reveal himself in a greater way. So I'm at peace. I'm at peace. And I'm focusing on what I know. Thank you for praying for me. I'm in my room waiting for my IV, and the procedure will then start shortly afterwards. And I've been reading my Bible through the Bible app and reading Psalm 91. That particular verse has been brought to my attention over and over again. And so I've been reading it every day. I listened to a prayer that was offered for me and for Serena from Japan. It was recorded by my cousin, and he and his wife sent it to me to be an encouragement. And I've been playing that often throughout the day, every day. And Serena and I listened to that as we were driving to the hospital. And right now I just finished listening to Waymaker, the live version that was recorded, and my spirit was just lifted because here I am in a hospital bed and able to worship. And at the end, as he was praising God, he said, "Your name is greater than," and he started listing different things, and my hand went up, and he said, "Cancer." And I didn't know that came out in the live version, It was just so perfect. So, it is well with my soul. I just had my veins accessed for the IV, and that did not go so well. They hit a nerve bundle, and I experienced such incredible pain that it made me jump and scream. And they had to then access me again, and it took a little effort to get the second needle in its right spot, so it caused some pain too. So that part wasn't fun. It was painful, but I'm okay. The endoscopic ultrasound is over, and I had wonderful nurses and anesthesiologists, and I believe they were all believers and of great comfort to me. Serena's been here the whole time to offer me comfort. Serena got sick after talking to the doctor about the results. I don't believe the results are good. So it seems that the nodule has grown, which is not good. And now we await the results. So it's near the end of the day, and today's doctor's visit did not give me the information I was hoping for. But despite that, it's been a good day. And it was a rough day. But there are so many things that have happened since earlier today that far outweigh the pain and the suffering from the bad news. So I'm trying to keep that in its proper perspective. When the doctor announced to Serena, my wife, what my prognosis was, she almost passed out and became violently ill. And it reinforced that conclusion of mine that I'm not willing to go through chemo and radiation and make her suffer any more than she already is. The doctor did not give me any reason to believe that his solution was a final solution. So the suggestion of chemotherapy, radiation therapy, all of that was and is intended to just buy me time, but it's not quality time, and that's not enough. The other news that I got today that is unfortunate is that which was a node just over a week ago is now a tumor and has grown enough that it is obstructing my esophagus, and my doctor said that very soon I may need a feeding tube in order to eat, because the tumor, if it continues to grow at the same rate, will very soon block all food from being able to get in. So that, of course, isn't good news. But I've spent the remainder of the day communicating with people. I felt that it was important for me to reach out on Facebook and post what was happening to me. I had wanted to wait until I knew exactly what I was dealing with before letting other people know. I didn't want people to concern themselves unnecessarily if it was just a scare, which I've had some health scares in the past. But today made it clear that This is more than a scare. This is essentially a terminal diagnosis. So my purpose in posting online was to get the word out to people who are willing to pray and ask God in faith for a miracle. And not just to say a prayer, but to really believe in their heart that God is not done doing miracles, that God is willing to answer that impossible request, but that he wants his children to believe, and he wants them to ask, because when we ask, we receive. When we seek, we find. When we knock, that door is open. And he wants us to come before him with faith the size of a mustard seed and be able to say to a mountain with that kind of faith, go and be cast into the sea, and it will be so. And when Jesus said, the things that you've seen me do, greater things than these will you do because I go to my Father in heaven, that he wants us to come before him with that confidence, with that boldness, with that faith, with that conviction of things not yet seen, that belief that he is who he said he is. And I believe that by sharing my story, the word would get out, and there would be at least one person that would answer the call and pray that way for me. And I must say that I had hoped that there would be some response, but my heart is overwhelmed to see the great response. I've spent all night trying to keep up with the phone calls, the emails, and the texts and the messages. And believe me, I am moved and honored and blessed. My soul right now is bursting with immeasurable joy. I'm so blessed to have such amazing people in my life. And God has been so good to me to bring such wonderful family and friends in my life. Now, I've had some emotional calls today. I've cried on the phone today. I had calls from family in South America, and we just wept and wept and wept and just kept holding on to our hope that we would one day see each other again. And I've had other friends here in the States that have called me, and we've wept together on the phone. But then we picked ourselves back up, and we allowed the Holy Spirit to console us, and we reminded of ourselves of the promises of God, and we agreed that we are going to hold on to hope. We're going to hold fast to his promises. Not that we could ever put God in a bottle, not that God is a genie and that we can somehow obligate him to do something. No. But that by exercising faith, by showing that faith and letting that confidence in him flow, that it brings him pleasure to do the impossible. And that he's still in the business of redeeming those that are willing to cry out for redemption. I am the blind man in the New Testament that is crying out, Son of David, have mercy on me. Son of David, have mercy on me. And I'm already experiencing that. My cancer is still here, but I'm experiencing the mercies of God because my joy is overflowing. And some of you that are listening to this are the reason my joy is overflowing. Your calls, your offers for help, your concerns for me. your prayers, they're being answered. I'm believing in a miracle on March 4th, if not before then. So I thank you for joining me on this journey. Originally, I started to think about this as this is my journey. But I forgot that family and friends that are like family don't just let you take this kind of trip alone. They get alongside of you and they travel the distance. So thank you for traveling the distance with me, and let's hope that is for a long time.